saw the first 4 laps under yellow, then we dropped the green flag. Kurt Busch went to the front and has stayed there. There's Vickers in second, then it's Tony Stewart, Jimmy Johnson, and Kasey Kahne. Matt Kenseth started 36th, was moving forward, but that progress has slowed, Alan.
Yeah, moved up to 29th spot in the opening couple of laps, Bill. Now has slipped back, and he's running in 32nd place. He called on the radio a couple of laps ago, said no grip. His car sliding around the racetrack, and didn't really offer anything else other than, Robbie, no grip, I'm loose in, I can't turn in the center, and that was the last transmission, so he's struggling a little bit now. Matt?
2 spots back, AB, is his teammate Mark Martin out. The same setup as Saturday that was in his primary car, but 0 laps on this race car this weekend. Mark is trying to settle in, currently running in the 34th position, has made 0 comments on the radio. The game plan early, we just try to feel out this race car to give him a top 10 finish here in the spring.
And just because you have to realize, just because you put the exact same setup in your backup car doesn't mean that car is going to feel anything like the one that you wrecked. These cars all have a feel, or drivers are looking for feel. That's why Earnhardt has run this car so many times, because he likes the way that thing grips the racetrack. He likes the way it feels. It could be just a little something different in the body, but that's why Mark is probably trying to feel this thing out. I'm sure they're going to have to make some big changes when they come in for their first pit stop.
Jeff Gordon in that 24 car started 23rd, has made his way to 12th. Greg Biffle's also on the move. He's gone from 39th to 27th. Here's race leader Kurt Busch. Brian Vickers closing in on him. There's Junior. He's in the 7th spot. Briggs on the move behind him to 8th.
We see that 8 car sliding back, just like we talked about earlier, just like he was doing in Atlanta. The thing is a rocket ship the first 10 or 15 laps, then all of a sudden starts to drop off.
So Riggs takes the position from Earnhardt. Give you the speeds at the line here. And again, top 4 cars here broke the track record in qualifying.
And the speeds that you see is not the fastest speed, but the average speed of Tony Stewart at 178 miles per hour. So they have slowed down considerably from qualifying. Almost 20 miles an hour average speed.
But still pretty darn fast on a 1.5-mile track.
Yes, it is.
There's Junior trying to chase down a championship. Wally?
Take a ride around, and BP, actually that second lane has worked in pretty nicely already. These guys here, watch going down the corner. Sees off the throttle, will start picking it up just a little bit. Right there you hear he's just on the gas a little bit. As he gets off the corner, he really accelerates hard. Now same thing, go down the straight back stretch, roll out of the throttle. Sometimes you touch the brake a little bit, sometimes you don't. Depends on how your car handles here. Back hard on the throttle. Actually, his car looks like it's handling fairly decent.
I see the miles per hour as he goes down in turn 1. 194 miles per hour. He goes down to about 156, 7,400 RPMs in the middle of the corner.
And that's what the engine builder doesn't want to even look at, does it?
No.
And it's not only so much what your top RPM is, like BP says, it doesn't drop that much. I mean, it goes to 7,400, 7,500 RPM. So you're in that high RPM range all the time.
Earnhardt third at Atlanta. That was his best finish, and second at California 7 races ago.
Alan, that 10 car is going somewhere.
He is, Benny, and that's going to the front. And that's not a surprise to this race team. I talked to Rodney Childers, the crew chief of Scott Briggs, yesterday. They finished 7th here back in April. Thought they had a car that could have won that day, but made a lot of mistakes on their pit stops, and it kept them from being at the front of the pack. Rodney says their pit crew has come a long way since then, and they feel they have just as good a car. Maybe today will be the day Scott Briggs gets win number 1 here in the Nextel Cup Series. The way he's looking now wouldn't surprise me, huh, BP?
No, it wouldn't, Alan. I talked to Rodney this morning, and he's very optimistic because he didn't say much. That tells me the crew chiefs are very optimistic about winning when they don't say much.
Don't want to jinx anything.
Exactly.
Robbie Gordon goes up high in the 7. Earnhardt's going to try and scoot underneath him here. Across the start-finish line, shoot off into 1. On board with Earnhardt. Always got that car down low. Be interesting to watch that develop through the day, if that has the same handling characteristics as last week that Wally was talking about. Kurt Busch is the race leader. Then it's Brian Vickers, Tony Stewart, Jimmy Johnson, and Casey Kane.